This be all. Alexa, is it weird that my arm is falling off? Yes, it is. It is, Rachel. That is bad. It's not going to heal on its own. And that's where ZocDoc comes in. They're a free app and website where you can find and book in-network doctors at your leisure. It's so simple. They make it so easy, and you can do it too. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Monet to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. ZocDoc.com/Monet. ZocDoc.com/Monet. Monét Talks. Hello, it's me, Monet. And listen, before we start the episode, I want to alert you on some things happening with me, okay? I have some new stand-up dates coming around the U.S., okay? Here's where we are. We're going to Austin on March 6th and 7th, Indianapolis, March 8th and 9th, Spokane, Washington, April 18th and 19th, Oklahoma City, the 25th and 26th, Sacramento, May 2nd and May 3rd, Raleigh, May 24th, May 25th, and Rochester, New York. I've never been to Rochester, my first time, on June 12th and 14th. So if you want to come see me across the U.S., now's your chance. Go to MonetXchange.com to get your tickets, and I will see you doing some new, brand new, never before seen. I just wrote some bits about some analingus and Starbucks being white woman culture, and it's going to be a good time. So come see me do some new material, some raw material this spring and summer.
I've been to balls where we start at like 5 and we don't get out till about like 10, 11 a.m. the next day. So it's so weird because people are like, what are y'all doing in this room? Well, child, if you prepare correctly, you'll be fine.
Monét Talks. Everybody come sit down, let's have a chat. Monét Talks. Living life gossip, chop it up, this or that. Monét Talks. Get comfortable, cause you on the show. We just wanna know where you been, who you been with. Monét Talks.
Well, Monet Talks listeners and consumers, we are blessed and privileged to be honored with the presence of a literal god. We have Dashaun Wesley in the house.
What's good, baby?
Baby, let me tell you something. Don't you what's good, baby, with that deep Barry White voice?
You want to know something? This is my morning voice. It doesn't switch over until about like 5 p.m., so I got a couple of hours to work with.
That is so good. Wait, girl, your voice girl, it is doing things to me.
It's weird enough because when I was younger, I had this high-pitched voice. I don't know, when the switch over just happened, so the voice switched over because I had a high-pitched voice. Mom was like, put some bass, and I got just too much, so I need to add some treble just to equal it out.
I gotta add some treble to equal it out. So how you doing?
I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm just like enjoying my LA life. Everything is moving in a great space.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna talk about things.
We sure will. We sure will.
Everything is great. I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Wait, and you're based in LA now?
Yeah, I'm based in LA. I'm from New York City, which I know you from New York too,
honey,
right?
I'm from Brooklyn.
What part of Brooklyn? Because I'm from Brooklyn too.
I'm from East Flatbush.
Oh, shoot.
That was shade.
No.
That was shade.
I'm from Brownsville.
Oh, shit.
You're right there.
Yes, right there. You were the last time on the 3 train?
Well, I was on Rockaway Avenue.
Rockaway Avenue.
Ooh,
okay.
Wait, East Flatbush. I went to middle school out there too.
I went to Marine Park.
You did?
Junior high girl. Literally like one of the third worst. It was a mess. Get and jump. It was a mess.
You know the situation. I went to Somers. That's just like on Kings Highway 94. So I was like, kind of that experience.
Yeah, I think that people don't really understand, like, going to school in middle school in New York was so crazy. Like, when I'm telling y'all don't understand, literally, like, having, like, fisticuff brawls,
Baby,
fighting in the street, like after school and stuff.
But
school.
It's a thing it's like a natural thing in this space,
It's so natural. Like, I was like, oh, that's how everyone's schools are.
Well, I had an older brother who was very protective of me. So, I didn't have to do too much scrapping, if we call it that. But, I stayed on the cool side. I had my moments? Yes, I have. Did I defend myself? Yes, I will, and I have. So, one of those moments. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so do you come from a big family?
Yes, I have a very big family. A very, very big family. I have many aunts. I have, good uncles, but that's on the mom's side. Now, on the father's side, it's numbers. It's numbers. I would tell you, but some people probably wouldn't even believe me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, my great-great-great-grandmother, yes, she had 18 children.
18?
18, honey.
Child, should I tell you the number that somebody I know that got? He got 33.
33?
Like 22 girls and 11 boys. Very few people know about that conversation, so when they see it and know it, that hood talk real quick. And I'm like, oh, so Dashaun, you talking about it? Yeah, that's a conversation. But
work
that many.
And then but do you have siblings? So you had an older brother that was protective.
Yes. So on my mom's side, just me and my older brother. Quite interesting enough, my name is Dashaun. His name is Darshan. So a lot of people don't know these things, but my older brother was very awesome.
I love that. And then so when you went to high school, did you say Brooklyn? Because when for high school for me, I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of y'all niggas in Brooklyn. I need to go to Manhattan.
You wanted to get out?
I wanted to get out, so I went to an arts high school in Manhattan.
Which one did you go to?
PPAS,
okay.
On 48th Street, yeah.
I stayed in Brooklyn. I wanted to go to this, oh my God, what is the name of the school that's in Midtown Manhattan on the West Side Highway?
LaGuardia?
Not LaGuardia. It's something else. So another high school I forgot the name of it, but I always wanted to go there. Somewhere on maybe 30-something street on the West Side Highway. I don't know, but I wanted to go to that high school outside of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But then again, Brooklyn held me down, so I went to school away in Coney Island from Brownsville.
Oh, Coney Island. Okay, that's not, at least it was a distance away from where you were growing up.
Yeah, I wanted to be away from my people. That train ride was perfect for me.
I know. Like what? Like an hour?
It was like a good 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
You know how to take the good train.
The good train, but not the G train because she don't exist. She don't work.
Child, I heard she just went express, but maybe that's a rumor.
And when you started dancing, was it dancing? Because you started dancing at 4, right? Mm-hmm. And was it dancing at a arts thing in Brooklyn? Your mom was like, you know what? You got a lot of energy, and you look a little, you a little different. I'll put you in there.
You're a key. I guess. Well, I'm from I'm from the projects. I'm from the hood, born and raised, and they used to have these dance programs inside our community. So I used to participate in them. Wanted to dance, kind of like guys was a dance teacher. Used to grab us all up, and they used to have this day. Every kind of project got their project day where they celebrate their well-being community, how they are. And they used to put on these dance competitions, in different areas. And I used to be a part of this group. They used to go around in different spaces. So I got my dancing from the start of there. And that was kind of like my hip hop situation.
Okay.
Tipped into modern. And then voguing that's another conversation.
We will absolutely get into the voguing. But I'm like, I wanted to be in dance, but I was just not coordinated enough to be a dancer.
What you mean?
I was not. I just had, so they were like, okay, you special, but you can, but you be singing at church sometimes, so we're gonna put you in music stuff. So that's why I started in music, and I was with the Songs of Solomon, which was a group in Harlem. Okay, and then we used to travel around, going to different on spring break and shit. We would go to different little states and sing and stuff like that. So I did more singing stuff. I went the vocal route, not dancing.
Did it include a little bit of dancing?
No, and not even on girl. The most we did was a little clap.
Oh no,
that was all the dancing we did.
Okay, I mean, dance has always been kind of struck in me since I was younger. So I kind of was always veered into a space to move and dance.
Yeah.
And then I learned my voice in the space of dancing. So that was quite interesting too.
I love that. And then, so I know for me, right? I used to sneak into, the first time I saw voguing was I snuck into, I got me a fake ID on the Junction in Brooklyn.
Okay, you went to the face.
I paid $20 to get a fake ID that looked just like the real ones.
Yes,
which to this day, I don't know how they were doing that. They were in the back of the store making fake IDs that looked like state IDs.
I purchased quite a few myself too.
Right? It wasn't like you seen the movies where you buy one and someone kind of looks like you or whatever. It was like they took my picture and they put it on an ID that was fake.
And literally it got you through the club, correct?
Yes.
Because it got me through as well too.
Yes.
I've had quite a few.
So I first snuck into Escuelitas, and that was when I first, okay, that's not true. There was, my first time was in the same after school group I was in. There was someone, I don't know if you know, William Allen.
Oh my gosh. Lives in Europe right now?
No, he was in Atlanta. Now he just got back to New York.
Okay.
But he was in the back then, he was in the House of Ebony. And William took me to my first Kiki function at the Gay Men's Health Crisis on 23rd Street.
GMAC, okay.
GMAC.
On 23rd, okay.
On 23rd.
So that's okay.
Okay, now just not too much.
I'm sorry.
Not too much.
I think I'm there too, okay.
I know I'm 35, but I mean.
Yeah, I just hit 40, so I'm like, I ain't complaining.
You are not 40 years old.
Yeah, just turned 40. Well, I'm about to be 41 this year. I don't look it. I drink a lot of water, child.
If you told me you were 28 years old, I'd be like, yes. I'm not going to
taking care of oneself.
Work. And you did say today you want a glass of water for the skin.
Child, I would have me a Jameson ginger ale, but that's just a later time. But I'm a water drinker.
Water drinker. You know, I was watching this thing, and this is where on social media is so crazy. This dermatologist was like, a lot of these like things you see online about this skincare, this skincare, that if you just drink a lot of water, you don't need to do all this skincare. I was like, really though? I was like,
well, people kind of ask me for my routine sometimes. I feel like I don't really have a routine, but I do wash and take care of my face. I have certain things that I do use, but I'm a shea butter guy.
Shea butter.
Shea butter,
even on
baby,
your face?
On my face as well. Shea butter,
Good
baby.
to know.
It keeps the tone a little bit.
The tone, yeah. And then, so that was my first thing, was going to the gay men's health crisis, and I was like, yo, like, because it was like a kiki function, and I was like,
and that lunchroom upstairs.
Yeah. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, this is so dope, this is so crazy. And then later on, I was sneaking to Esco's, and that's when I like walked in like one kiki function one time.
Did you?
I did.
What was your category?
I don't know why they chose me for this, because there was no twist. I was realness with a twist.
What? No, Sade.
No, but it was not. Girl, it was giving all twists. No realness.
Listen, I have my realness days as well too. But I feel it. Like if you can, and that's what I love about Kiki scene, because again, they don't. Well, compared to like we have a Kiki in the main scene stream, the Kiki you can do as you feel, as long as you do what you got to do and making people know it, they'll know it.
Yeah.
So how far did you go?
Chopped. I was chopped. And after that, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to do this anymore. I got my zeros and I'm going to walk out. I got my chops. I left. But what was your first like dive into Vogue?
You know what? I honestly say one of my friends back at school, when I first got into high school, openly gay, and was just like, I was finding out about myself, very young. And he was like, yo, you got to come with me out to the Village. And if you experienced the Village before the 2000s, it was a very different place. So he was like, come to me with the Village. Come with me to the Village. And I was like, sure, I'll come with you. Ride on the train, get to the city. I just started to see everyone who looked and act like me. And he was just like, just follow me to the pier. And this is before it's edited the way it is right now. It was like the planks that was on there a little bit. And they were still editing that. But they walked me over there, and it was just this guy. His name was DJ Al. And he had a big boombox. He had a push and play on two sides, because we used to play some beats and then also record it so you can have some tapes to sell it.
Work.
Oh no, I'm telling my age. But when he played this boombox with this beats, I came around and I watched everybody. I watched everyone just sit in a circle and just battle it out. And I was like, what the hell is this? And that was my first time going to the Village. So inquisitive me was like, oh, I'm going back tomorrow after school, going to the programs and everything like that. So I wound up going every chance I got to experience this space, because this DJ would just go out there and have his boombox and walk down Christopher Street, and everybody would follow until you get to that place, and everybody would just Vogue. And I was like, I need to be a part of this. So I kind of just included myself in it by getting to know people and going to these functions.
Work. And so, functions mean like Kiki functions?
Oh, well, no, before they had the Kiki functions. Okay. It was like, it was just straight up balls. And they used to actually have balls on, what's it, Hudson Street or Houston, excuse me, on Houston Street, right now on Christopher Street, just close by there. There's a school called PS3 or whatsoever, and they used to have the balls right then and there. So
wow.
Walking right on Christopher Street, if you wanted to go to a ball, there's one at the school.
Right there.
And I wound up going to one, and I was like, oh, this is what I want to do.
This is what?
Oh, it felt, I just never seen people who just looked and act like me back at home in Brownsville. Yeah. I wasn't getting that. So I would hop my ass on the train. Yeah. I would go to the city, and I would see, different walks of life just here in this area. But then I got to see this community. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm a dancer already. I do this. So what is this Vogue stuff?
What is that?
Because I think I could be good at that. And again, I was 14 years old during that time. So I was like, yo, I have to be a part of this. And I just kept going back every day and getting to know everyone.
And then, so why did they start? Like, why did the idea of Kiki function start? Like, was it because like balls were too intense? We were like, okay, we need to make something. Like, why a Kiki function? Why not just do balls all the time?
So funny enough, like Kiki scene kind of like started. Not the Kiki scene how it is today, but we used to Kiki years ago, and how we used to do was, okay, let's just say you was in the house of Ebony, I was in the house of Evisu, right? This years ago, mainstream was just mainstream. So we're friends, but we're in different houses. We're at the balls. You're with your crew, I'm with my crew. Yeah, all good. So after that's all said and done, when we're around practicing Kiki and we want to Kiki with each other, so we come up with like some playhouses. So me and you would come with a playhouse, and two other girls come with a playhouse. We're the house of leaves, they're the house of floor, and we're gonna come in the house and we're gonna play some beats. and we're going to battle it out.
Okay, got it.
That really grew from a space because, again, I used to experience GMHC as one of the drop-in center youth there, going there, faithfully after school, and they used to play beats, and, we used to go there and create these key moments, and then it just grew from there because I guess these organizations seen the influx of the youth and young adults that was coming into the organization, and they needed to figure out how can they keep them there, how can they get, all the information, get the information out to them, and also get the numbers that they need.
Word.
So it was always like a nonprofit kind of like Kiki scene thing, which they still support them and sponsor them still to this day. So it's just like, but Kiki now, because again, we were Kikiing compared to now, like y'all can still have a good time and don't need to be a part of this mainstream stuff where they take it very
seriously, right?
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Very serious. So.
And you see, that's why I'm so happy to have you here on the show, because I think, again, we have seen the explosion of ballroom culture in mainstream culture. And now I would venture to say, but I mean, again, I think there's kind of like drag. There's always a little piece of it that will still be like, whatever. But I think I see ballroom in a lot of shit all the time. We see all these straight folks using ballroom lingo and adopting ballroom.
But we come for their asses when it's not right. If you do it right, okay, you'll get a pass. You're eating it. But if you don't do it right, the scene is coming after you, and we don't mind. And that's the good part. So.
And then so my question is, like, when you see that, like, are you happy to see this blending of ballroom and mainstream, or you want, because I know there are a lot of queens that like if you think of like Lady Bunny and Jackie Beat, who are like, they're from the old school, they're like they don't like the drag is what it is now. They like it when it was more of like a nightclub night acting. Like, how do you feel as being someone who is one of the
Well, shockingly enough, from being a competitor and competed and was one of the named people who was voguing during my time, I can take it back to, I'm going to bring up some moments like America's Best Dance Crew. Before myself and the members got on that show, we realized that we were being looked at in ways that we didn't understand. Our ways to, kind of share videos with one another was YouTube. So as we're uploading our videos, we didn't know people were watching them as we were trying to like get our own clicks and watch them ourselves.
Yeah.
So for me, even before that time of going on the TV shows, I just always had this feeling that this community was going to grow because I see how it was growing within. And I myself, with others who's being a contribution to growing to where it is today, I kind of had this feeling like, I see now that, we're on YouTube and we see this going on, now we see that going on. So what it made us go to America's Best Dance Crew, we seen season 1, it was this group called Fish and Chicks, and they did like Laomi and the Girls, and that must have blown the conversation in the community up so big because it's on national television. But what do they know about Laomi and the Girls?
Yeah.
So we were like, how they finding out about you? What's going on? And we realized that was a platform where we can come together because we have moments within the community of our own where we have to come together and compete against other houses or compete against each other, or sometimes team up to compete against someone else. So it's just, I just had this feeling that it was going to grow into something big. And one thing I always said is that we have to make sure that I hate to say this now, and I want to say like it's gatekeeping, but we see how things can go so far and be taken so far away. And we have to make sure we stand what we got going on. This is why when we see something that's inappropriate, that's appropriation or taken away from our community, which misses the point of acknowledging us, making sure that we grow and we get in our full,
flowers,
for doing what we do. And we realize we have to step up and do things like that. So I'm happy that myself and others in the community were able to knock down some of these things, because certain things were happening that we weren't getting our graces. And I also would say, one day I was reading this magazine and they had the top 10 worst dances out there in the world. I can't believe what year it was.
Oh, God.
And Vogan was like number 6. And I was like, bitch, they said Vogan was the worst. Oh, no.
That's insane.
Baby, after that moment, and I still have that photo somewhere and I'm going to find it.
Yes.
Baby. And they had a picture of Willie Ninja and it said Vogue and it was bad, like top 10 worst dances. I was like, I will go out there and wear every dancer out who feels like this. Don't play with me. But
that's crazy.
I guess, again, we were growing as a community. So we were learning at the same time as we was putting our stuff out there that we have to really protect what we got going on. So as it gets to the masses, we still have a sense of ownership of what we got going on with our community.
100%. And like, I mean, will you please, we gonna change numbers. I need to know, because I want to post something like, are y'all, now do y'all feel dumb as fuck now?
All these years later. On my Facebook, and I'll go back to it and I look at it, I'm like, oh, I posted it, and look where it is right now.
Yeah.
Now everyone's doing it. Now the dance competition.
Everywhere.
It's
everywhere.
I look at dance competitions, how they include different type of genres of dance, and now Vogue is included.
Is included in that too. I watched a cheerleading thing maybe a month ago, and literally a whole thing they're trying to do catwalk. They're like it was part of the cheerleading thing that they were doing.
I'm not shocked the segment would have a Voguing situation for 15 seconds where they're playing a Voguing beat and you got the crashes and everything like that, so where you feel the Voguing stuff. So
yeah, we
were bound to grow, and I'm our community had to learn at the same time that we're getting this explosive, because now we're so international that, child, I have my own house, and I got a whole chapter in Asia right now, and Japan, Korea, Philippines. It's just growth.
Fierce. And so when you see, this is something that has been shows and I'm from Drag Race, but when they take something like The Dip and they call it a death drop, does you what part of you is what the fuck are y'all doing? Can y'all just call it what it is?
Child. When I say we had those moments where we do what we do, and we live in our community so much, so when we've seen examples like that set forth, I'm sure enough that you've seen either someone from the community was responding back to correct what was going on, or you see someone else, or we taught people enough to know that that's not what it is. Yeah. And it hurt our soul, because we had people come into our communities oh, that's a cute death drop.
You're no.
Bitch. Miss Thing. Yeah. No,
not that. That's not what it is.
It is not. So we had to step up and make sure that we knocked down what wasn't correct. So when someone say death drop, it's not a death drop. People have experience. A death drop is a cheerleading move.
Yeah.
Now, some people may have experience and call that because of what they know, and they didn't know the wording for it. That's because they didn't have the knowledge for it. So I guess we have to teach the people that it's not a death drop, it's a dip.
Yeah. And that's what I love when Naomi comes out there and she's like, nogging. She coined the nogging term. I'm like, you better.
Can I tell you, I remember when we she coined that term. We was in Australia, right? And we were just in the flea market just shopping and everything like that. And I'm recording her. And I'm like, and she's like, baby, record, we're about to start voguing. We was voguing. I was like, oh, we're nogging. And then she started nogging. I was like, nogging. Nogging. And then from there, me and Naomi, it was the reality of it all, because we knew what wasn't correct, and we had to teach a lot of people as we were going to teach classes that, hey, we don't want to do no nogging here. We want to vogue, not no. But that, Naomi, she'll eat you up with it.
Oh, Naomi does not play.
Don't get on the bad side, baby. Naomi will let you know. Love my Taurus sister.
What is one misconception about voguing that you think that America's Best Dance Crew help y'all teach the world?
Shockingly enough, when I go back and look at the clips from America's Best Dance Crew, and I look at the judging, they did not know how to judge us. They did not know how to give us critique. They didn't know what they were seeing. They had an idea, but they didn't know how to give us a critique in order for us to grow as a group. Yeah. We looked at the gay team, that was just trying to make a difference, but I knew we had an objective. Yeah. And receptive, the crowd was awesome.
I'm
but
sure.
When you hear the judging, it was much different.
Really? Because they had never probably seen what y'all were doing. So they literally can't.
If they didn't know how to ever go back, just check out the judge and you'll see how uncomfortable they are. But we sit up there confident, and
even though Lil Mama was making transphobic ass comments,
baby. And there's nothing like being there than what a television will show you. Because when you are there, baby, I would just want to say this one moment after the whole show is being shot. Everything like that. Naomi and Little Mama was mad, and I remember we were sitting in our little garage they gave us with that little snap finger situation. But we were sitting in the garage, and Naomi's upset, and we're all sitting around her, and Little Mama decided to come.
She came backstage. Oh, Lord.
You ever see that Homer meme when he's standing outside and go
he's going to the bush?
Baby, we had a curtain. I was like, ooh, and Naomi went off. But it was those moments, baby. That was a correction that had to be,
absolutely
done at that moment.
I love that.
Was done.
I fucking love that.
Monét Talks.
This how y'all being. I'm gonna be y'all in the conversation. Hey Google, is it weird that the rash on my arm keeps on spreading? Alexa, My eye is hanging out of the socket. Will it heal on its own? That's how y'all be. And y'all sound crazy. Girl, why do all that when ZocDoc is here? ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can find, search for, and book in-network doctors at your leisure. Doctors that can help you fix that hanging eyeball and that rash that keep on spreading. You can't self-diagnose, girl. This is 2025, and help is on the way, okay? And what I love about them, too, are the patient reviews, because people are very real in the comments, and they'll let you know how this doctor is, if they're worth your time, because your time is what? Precious, okay? So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Monet to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Monet. ZocDoc.com/Monet. Everyone's doing it.
Monét Talks.
So, Dashaun,
Yes.
you are a house whore, okay?
Yes.
You in the House of Latex,
Oh.
the House of Evisu,
Oh.
House of Lanvin.
Oh.
So what prompts someone? Because we want to like, what prompts someone to change houses so often? Like why? Like is it because you're like, oh, I'm outgrowing this house, or this house is not serving what my like? Why do you move houses? Why does one move houses in ballroom?
So interesting, and very few people ask me that question. Oh my gosh. Okay, so can I tell you the truth?
What?
Actually, I have my house open right now. It's the House of Basquiat. So I started my own house.
You founded in 2021.
Yeah, after season one of Legendary,
yeah.
like I was like, season 2, I was like, okay, it's time for me to do my own thing. Definitely in the community I'm being supported in.
So season 1, what house were you in when you were?
I was a Lanvin.
Lanvin, okay.
Okay,
yeah,
so let me tell you about that. So I was an Evisu, I was a Latex, I was Evisu, I was a Lanvin. But the funny thing enough is I never left a house prior before that because they all just changed their name.
Oh, the house just changed name.
Yes, so Evisu, Latex went to Evisu, Evisu went to Lanvin.
Got it.
Evisu to Lanvin was House of Lacroix, House of Evisu merged, and they became the House of Lanvin.
Got it.
So I kind of been in the same house for 20-some-odd years.
Okay.
They just changed names.
Got it.
And then a couple of years ago, I was like, yo, it's time to do your own thing. So... did that make me like a house hopper?
No, because no, that's not. But I've seen it though. Like other people have, like
baby.
And then so when someone leaves a house, is it like dramatic? Are people like? Is it normally like? Are the houses like mad at each other? Like we can't believe that you took like Dashaun. Like you are though. Like you going to like? Are people like? Oh my God, I can't believe he's leaving Lanvin.
I can imagine how some people can be that way because I've had my own personal experiences. I've seen people go through so much in this community when they leave houses. I've seen friends who were really close become enemies. I've seen people who become even more greater friends even after they separate. I've seen people who are mad at others. I've seen people chop someone because they left their house. I've seen some people fight people because they leave their house. So it really depends on the situation and experience that you have with that person compared to someone else because yes, it was a few people who were upset at me for leaving the house, but I don't think I've experienced in such that way because I grew up with these folks. So they seen me
20 years.
Yeah, they see me transition into growing or, I know it would have been great to stay, but I've seen other situations and a part of my time so far, I've seen some things, child. And girls do get beat up for leaving the house because, again, if we're supposed to be ride or die with this and you leave, it's like, well, girl, you know all my secrets, or maybe you're trying to tell the next girl something, or maybe you're just acting funny, or maybe it wasn't real. So it just so many things within this community that's just so it's so exciting to me. I stay away from the drama, although being some, but I'm it's so exciting.
So I guess when you have a ball, right, and you have people, the judges, like, so are the judges from all different houses, right, to make sure that it's like fair?
Yep.
So how can you like let's say you left House of Lanvin and now you walking, you doing the ball basket? How can you make sure that the Lanvin judge is not shading you with the chop?
By making sure I got a Basquiat judge on that panel just in case they try, then we're going to have to go back and forth then. And if I have the right person, they are going to want to play these games. But like, I'm not saying these are things that we do, but it's the things that we do. So again, if somebody's throwing me shit up, I feel like, someone from another house chopped my child and I see their child walking too. And I feel like just being funny, I will just chop. And sometimes you have people like, well, why did you chop me? And some people just be like, child just didn't see it. I don't see it. And they're like, well, I walk down and my outfit better than I just don't see it. So you're asking for a fight, you ask for an argument, you ask for house parents to start getting into a situation. So that's the fun part of ball.
That's what I love watching when I see clips and stuff like that. So years ago, Bob and I, we went to the Latex ball. This was maybe like...
Well, what year?
The year that it was the Addams Family.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What year? Yes. I don't know what year was that.
That was 20. That was before.
It was before pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic. That was
maybe like 2017.
I'm thinking like 2017 and 2018.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
And we went to that ball. We were living. It was so fucking good. The only thing, y'all, this latex ball was when it started at we got there like 9 and it went until like 4 a.m.
That's a good night. It's like, that's a good 9 to 4? Oh, that's cute. I've been to balls where we started like a 5 and we don't get out till about like 10, 11 a.m. the next day. So it's so weird because people are like, what are y'all doing in these rooms? Well, child, if you prepare correctly, you'll be fine. I myself, and I know I got this good advice from someone, like before I go to a ball, I get some sleep. So when I go there, it starts at like, 9? So, people been up all day preparing. I'm going there looking so good. And by the time 4 a.m. hits, I'm there like, oh, child, I mean, I'm still good. You okay, stink? People sleep at the table, but it lasts for a very long time because you want to make sure every category gets hit. Yeah. If it's a major ball, then it's going to go on forever. So, but you had an exhilarating time.
We had a great time. And I think we had to leave out, we got there we had to leave at 1. But, it was still a good, 5-6 hours. Oh, this is insane. This was so good.
You seen the drama. You seen the action.
Oh, yes. What I love, I don't think people who just, see Legendary. I mean, Legendary was pretty, eclectic. But, y'all, it is like a full multicultural experience. You have people Black, Latino, white, Asian, literally everyone is under, which I think is one of the most beautiful things of ballroom, is that obviously something that was made here in New York City, in the States, by Black and brown people, but how open that y'all have opened it up to the world and let everyone experience the goodness of ballroom, which I think it's such a good allegory for how we should live our goddamn lives. Like, y'all are like, yes, we created this, and we hate when y'all appropriate and don't give us credit, but we are also open and welcoming. We want everyone to experience it too.
I guess the good part about that is I remember from when I first started where we were just so underground. It's so weird that you don't hear it being called underground ballroom anymore, but it was underground for us because we had to find the spots that make sense for us. And now that it's so explosive, and we always say, if you're going to come to our community, just know what you're doing and follow what's going on, and you'll be able to be amazing in the space. Now, some people like to just do it because they feel they're good in it, and they're not as good as they think they are. But when you have someone who just knows everything about what they're doing, and you just know how to intermix and mingle with the community, you just know that we can include everyone. I know years ago when it was shocking just to see a white person do a catwalk, but now they're all over the whole damn world. Like, there's balls going on in Poland and Russia and so many different places where people who now we had to understand. So in our community, because it was so underground, because it was a specific space for us Black and brown folks who were just coming together just to get the validation, just to feel real enough to just be celebrated. And we are doing our ballroom experiences because of our triumphs and what we're experiencing. I didn't have the same experience back at home in Brownsville, so I had to come to this community. So it's so interesting enough now where you get folks who are way out in Russia. So, child, what was you going through in Russia that you walking balls, honey? What you going through, Stink? What's happening? So in these different communities, but and now we can say now one of the second place you'll go to outside of going to ballroom in America is you go to Paris.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know Willie Ninja and all the participants on Paris is Burning had a vision about something, and it's there, and now it's big, and it's so vibrant and so amazing. You go there and feel the same way that you felt at the Latex Ball if you go to a ball out in Paris.
Paris,
they speak a different language, but child, they are doing the same catwalk, same vogue, same label, same face. So I'm just happy it grew, and I'm glad that if you want to be a part of this, we're open for you to be a part of it. Any gender, any race, anything. We do not care. We have our gender selective categories, and we also have ones for who are not gender selective, like GNC, which we created. It's about gender non-conforming folks who doesn't fit in a butch queen or femme queen or drag category. They have their own category now where they can walk realness, they can walk fashion categories, runway. So we have it's open up for everybody. So that's why I love ballroom. We continue to grow, but we just like to fight amongst each other.
Now you were made a legend. You were, I guess, what's the term?
Deemed
legendary in 2018.
Yep.
So now,
wait. Okay. I'm an old guy, child. I was deemed icon in 2018.
Icon in 2018. Okay, so what is the order? It is your first...
You start as a star.
A star.
Yep.
Then a statement.
Then you go to a statement.
Uh-huh.
And then you go to legendary. And then you go to icon.
Icon.
And then after that, child, you are Hall of Fame. You are pioneer. And if you keep going and going, but at this moment, I'm kind of like on that fourth tier kind of icon situation.
Going into...
Yeah, I think about it like the star is like the status of what you get when you see the category and you want to do it. A star is you're excited to want to participate in the category. A statement is they're expecting to see you because you've been doing it so long as a star, and that your statements that they're expecting to see you because the category being called for.
Yeah.
When you're a legend, I think about you when a category is happening because you've been doing it for so long. You've been, you think about it. Yeah. When you're icon and pioneer, you've been changing the category so much that like you probably, one thing I give it to my sister Leomi, she's one of the only folks within our time now who's added a different element to Vogue. And that's a 360.
The 360, yeah.
There has been no element after that. But her and her 360, nasty. And everybody do it. I remember a time where people moves were their moves. Back then, I was not trying to do your move.
Yeah.
You want to do a nasty catwalk? That's yours. I'm going to do a dramatic dip. But now a 360 has been added to where people feel like they have to do it. So that's about the innovation. So that's why she's an icon in the Hall of Fame or, even grown to be that because she's changed the evolution of what Vogue is.
What Vogue is. Ugh, fucking love that. And I mean, you have your slice of the pie with emceeing. Like no one, I mean, when you hear your voice on a mic and you were emceeing, were you like, okay, I want to have this sound, I'm going to create this, or you're just something that just evolved over your years in ballroom?
I guess when I was younger, I had this voice, right? When it changed, right? But I joined the ballroom and I used to like the voguing part as well, too. But when I didn't vogue, I used to like the commentating and chanting. And someone told me, like, you should do it. I used to go to HMI as well, too.
Oh.
So I was a Hedrick Martin kid. And they used to I was always the cool guy, but make sure everybody had a good time. So the staff, they used to be like, listen, I see you the guy with the voice. So make sure everybody's, good in the corner. Y'all can vogue that or you want to play your beats. And they knew I had a voice. And I remember there's one person in the ballroom community, he gave me the microphone for my very first time on our Chanel. And he was like, yo, I want you to commentate my mini balls because you have a voice. Do it. And during that time, there was only like 3 commentators and they were highly respected. Nobody else coming after them.
Kevin Prodigy.
Before Kevin Prodigy, there was Jack and there was
Jack
MC Deb. And we had people who's like Eric Christian Bazaar and other folks who were grabbing the microphone, but that was before they had anybody grab the microphone. So then you had people like myself and Kevin who had the opportunity to grab the mic and like go, but baby, it was myself, it was Selvin. It was Jack, it was Selvin, it was myself. Then you got Kevin, and then you got Precious, then you got all these other girls on behind. So there was kind of that quarter lead with commentators when it comes to this community too.
I love Precious. When Bob and I did the Simmerave tour, when we had the House of Juicy Couture.
Oh yeah,
dancing for us. She did a thing on and I was just I love her so much.
She's a Basquiat too.
Oh,
I grabbed the good ones. I grabbed the good ones.
Okay, now Legendary, right?
Yeah.
How does Legendary come about? I'm sure they were looking for a host, MC, and they were like, we had to have Dashaun.
Shall we go there?
Yeah, shall we go there?
Okay, from the beginning, I will honestly say, the community was going. It was coming public. We'd done so many different things. We perform in live performances. We're on television shows. We're doing little small things. So it was this production company that was interested in wanting to do a show. Now, they reached out to all the mothers and fathers of the West Coast because I moved out here. I think I just got off a tour with Rihanna. That's another conversation. But I got off a tour and they would want to have a conversation about us having a TV show. And because I know I've been doing my thing, traveling, teaching, doing some shows here and there, performing live, hosting events. A lot of people was like, yo, y'all got to talk to Dashaun. Talk to Dashaun.
Yeah.
But they got all the mothers and fathers together. We had a meeting and sat there and it was like, we want to put a show together, but we don't know what to do. And I guess Legendary was very difficult to put together in the beginning because it took 2 years for us to actually get the go for the very first season.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we've been talking for so many months prior before, and it was going so many different ways because there was a lot of things that I was here for. And I think this something I don't speak about a lot is a lot of things I was not here for. And when it comes to the outcome of season 1, which has changed from season 2, season 1, at first, I'm going to say this. Nah, forget it. At first, they wanted me to be a competitor on a show. I was in the House of Lanvin. I had my dancers. You know, it was other houses there. And they was like, Dashaun, what you to do be a competitor? I helped them shoot the pilot for it, which was cool. It got shopped out. It got picked up a few times, dropped, and then picked up. But, you know.
That's the part about people, y'all don't know. Like, yeah, you think like, okay, I got picked up. And then you hear like a month later, like, nah, they dropped it. And that's the game you play with that shit.
It got picked up and dropped so many times. But like, it went through so many different layers of like who to pick for judging. And then like, we got to pick the right people for the television show. That first, they wanted to get nothing but celebrities. At first, they didn't want me as the host. They wanted me as a competitor. Yeah. And I kept telling them, no, I don't want to be a competitor because I've experienced Vogue Evolution for America's Best Dance Crew. And we just talked in little detail about that. But child, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And we weren't in the same house then. We were all in different houses coming together to do something. But from this experience, I didn't want to take it away from someone else in my community who could have went through that same experience and me take it away from that. I didn't want that. I wanted someone to get that opportunity to be on stage and sit in front of whoever or be in front of that camera and even on television to get an opportunity to be themselves. We're not celebrated enough.
Yeah.
I've done that a lot.
Yeah.
So I kept telling them, no, I'm not gonna be a competitor. And they're like, oh, we'll do something for season 2. I remember that from another production that I did. Like, and they said, oh, you know.
No,
like,
girl. No.
We're not doing that. And I held out to the very end until they wanted to do probably 2 months before when I signed my contract that they wanted me to be the host because they couldn't pick anybody else. So
dope.
Really hard to get that first line through because they wanted someone else. I want to say who they wanted to pick, but I don't want to no shade. No, I do want shade. They wanted Karrueche to be like the host. And we were like, we want y'all to keep it as authentic as possible.
And it won't be with fucking Karrueche being the host.
Child, we have DJs, we have commentators, we have, producers of our own music that can all come together and put this together. So it was a lot of things that we had to fight for to get.
Wow.
And a lot of stuff we have to like kind of pull back from because people didn't understand. And one thing that we had to work out was our music because, a lot of DJs, a lot of like the sample stuff, which doesn't get through on television.
Yeah.
So our music was a little hit for season 1. It made some sense, but baby, a lot of people in our community was like, girl, nobody's voguing on beat.
Yeah.
So
but Mike Q nailed it with that fucking that theme song for that show.
Baby.
It's like on my iTunes it's so good.
Ash B, and I give it to my Queendom crew, but Mike Q ate that
up.
My points, I was like, damn, I wish I was on it. That shit went far. She haunted me, but she was a good haunting. So it was just a lot to fight for just to get for the first season. It was a lot for me to fight to be a host of this television show because they wanted me to compete, but I knew the type of space and I knew what I was worth to have this conversation with folks that were coming to me just to get an idea about putting on a show.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, this is not what's going to happen.
Yes.
And if y'all do that, I'm just letting you know about like the things that the outcome that's going to come because my community do not like to shut up if something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we got our experience for season 1, which took a lot, but we got to learn what we can do different for season 2, which it changed. But then COVID came into play, child.
Well, I will say, I think that's such a great lesson in knowing your worth and knowing what you want and not settling for less than that. You're like, I know what I want. I know what my value is in this thing. I know what I can give, and I'm not going for less. And I know, especially when you like being confronted with like contracts and cameras, like, but I can have this thing, but if I just hold on, I know I can have something better. And a lot of people, myself, I have made decisions going the other way to like, okay, I'll just do it as opposed to holding back, and who knows what could have been. So
and
that's fierce.
I think if I would have like just kept it off and not done it, what the opportunity could have been for someone else. But then again, I was like making sure if I'm consulting with you guys about helping put this television show about ballroom on, we have to take into heed about what's going to be correct for television and what don't work. So let us know what don't work.
Yeah.
But had to fight through so many meetings and everything just to say about my value and worth and what I'm capable of doing by adding. Now, I'm not saying they were like, no, we don't want you as a host. They were like, well, Dashaun, we want to make sure we go in the right direction. I'm just like, the direction is here. And I've been doing this for quite some time, and I've had the experience of hosting things that even when I was put on the spot for certain spaces, they were like, within that first season, they just knew they had the perfect guy.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, and no shade, but why was Jamila Jamil judging ballroom?
Again, we was in a space where people didn't understand something. Well, Jamila was a producer on the show as well.
Oh, was she?
So, yes, she was for season 1. So for season 1, they needed at first season 1, I was the commentator and also the co-host with Jamila. And Jamila would like jump on stage with me, have the conversation because they needed someone to put next to Dashaun, who everybody know, this and that, to have that conversation. And, you know, there was a lot of conversations within putting this show on that, you know, does this make sense? How does it going to work? Maybe we can veer the people that Jamila have into focusing on what's going on with this television show. You know, you got your thing, but you can bring your people through. But then again, she got things going on, which could bring a blind eye to what's happening in our community. 100%. So it was, in the beginning, everybody was like, what the hell is going on? But to me, and to be honest,
I'm people.
But shockingly enough, Jamila been to a couple of balls. Jamila has been to Esquilita.
Before she was supposed to be a part of the show, like just for, okay.
So she been to, and it's so interesting because Esquilita was that place where even when we had balls, there were a lot of celebrities that was coming to our balls at Esquilita, but like cameras wasn't being shot their way, or people didn't want to be seen that they were there. But it was so many celebrities that have been in our community, and that experienced this space, and Jamila has experienced that quite a few times. So when she got up there, and we were telling her, girl, they're about to read you down, Stink. Jamila, they're gonna come for you, girl. So, and I feel like throughout the seasons, I don't know if you've seen it from season 1 to season 3, how Jamila snappy mouth is getting
100%,
baby, because we had to tell her, like, girl, the girls are gonna come after you. What are you gonna say? You're a producer, you're interviewing with the things. How are we gonna have this conversation? We know you have an interview, girl, but when the girls come for you, Jamila, you got to pick it up, Miss Thing. What's
100%.
And Mama was there season 3. She was like,
she really was. She was really. I mean, but I'm so mad at the fucking people at Max. Like, why is it not in? Why can I not? Like, why? Where is Legendary? Why can we find? Why it's not anywhere? So
crazy. Well, it's shockingly enough. Somebody just showed me like recently, like it's on Tubi right now.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I literally downloading it, getting Tubi tonight.
I think it's called like A Love and Desire, something somebody showed me the other day, and I just like, I don't watch television, so when I try to peek in. So I went and checked it out a few times, but on Tubi on a specific channel, and it comes on really, really randomly. And I'm like, okay, that's where you find it. But it's so interesting how such a good show that everybody was, baby. It was fun. It was very fun experience.
I do see how Legendary is probably a very expensive show to put on.
Baby,
the budget of that show, I'm sure it was
I ain't telling the budget, but the budget was nasty.
It looks like an expensive show.
It was a very,
to their testament though, it looked rich. Like, it looked like the costumes were good, the makeup was good, it looked like a very good show. Just like I know that show cost a coin to produce.
We had the best stage managers, the best lighting, the best visuals, best cameras. It was like, you know, they informed me how much they put into this and how much it was like going to turn out. And I was just here for, you know, people in my community to be on stage, to want to celebrate a moment that we can have.
Dashaun, I want to play a little game.
Uh-oh.
It's called Category Is.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a specific ballroom category, then list 3 celebrities, pop culture figures, or whoever, and you have to pick who's getting the 10s in the category and explain who's getting chopped.
Shit.
Okay? So first category is old Hollywood glamour. The 3 are Beyoncé, Rihanna, Lady Gaga. Who's getting 10s?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not asking for trouble, so Rihanna's going up there like number 1.
I mean, yeah.
So, okay, we got to give 2 things, like 10s, chops, and who's going to win.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is bad. Because I'm a Beyoncé fan.
Same, me too.
Tell me I'm a Beyoncé fan. Not a fan, but I'm a good fan. So, old Hollywood glam, I'm going to say that Honesty Hour, because of what she does, Gaga's going to win the category.
Work.
Now, Rihanna's going to get a 10s, and I hate to chop B, but baby, like, it's not the category for you, Stan. Yeah. You should walk Sex Siren.
Sex Siren, yeah. I mean, Rihanna would win Sex Siren.
Oh, she would win that too. You asked me that question. Throw the girls in that list. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Sex Siren.
Ooh.
Okay, Sex Siren, okay? We have Rihanna.
Okay.
We have SZA.
Ooh.
And we have Teyana Taylor.
Oh,
10s, chop, win.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay, I am only chopping SZA, right?
Okay.
Because I feel like someone just pushed out there on the floor and she don't know what to do yet, how to sell it. And you got to sell it a specific way when it comes to Sex Siren.
Sex Siren, yeah.
Rihanna, she knows the knowledge already, and she knows how to sell it. She's a Caribbean girl. She know a beat, she know a movement. And Teyana Taylor is one of the girls.
Girl.
So she going to know the category in half. So honestly, I'm going to say that Teyana is going to somehow okay, honestly, Rihanna's going to win. Tiana's going to get a 10, but she's going to be like just on the limb of winning because she's going to be doing the most. And everybody live for it for Tiana. And she know the community, so.
Okay, next category. Vogue Battle Royale.
Oh.
You got Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, Janet Jackson.
Dang, Doja, you getting chopped, Stink. I know she not a dancing situation like that. You know, I know she dances to keep up, but now I know she ain't holding it down. Like, okay, so I'm going to give, Janet is going to, dang. Is Janet and who again?
Janet and Megan.
Megan is going to, Megan's gonna win. I'm sorry. Megan's gonna win. Janet gonna get her 10. She gonna keep up. But like, Megan knows what's happening right now. She gonna do a 360.
360. Okay. Mogul realness.
Oh.
We got Oprah Winfrey, Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift. Who's getting their 10s?
Oprah Grand Prize.
Oprah Grand Prize. Kim K. Taylor Swift.
I'm going to give it to Kim. No shade. She can get a 10. No shade. I mean, mogul it. Oprah, she does it. Taylor, I don't mean to chop you, Stink.
Girl, Taylor flying with her on her private jet.
Child,
she go give each judge $1 billion. She was like, now what?
But I'm not saying that she's not one of the girls. I'm just saying it's not tonight.
Okay, last category, realness with a twist.
Ooh.
Okay. Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Channing Tatum.
Oh.
Henry Cavill.
Oh, I'm sorry, Henry. You got to go, Stink.
Good job, Henry Cavill.
Yes. Shannon is winning grand prize, and Michael B. Jordan. Maybe you're right. Nah, no shade. I ain't saying, but you know, maybe he been to a function before. I don't know Michael B. So I think he's getting 10.
He's getting 10.
I think he's getting 10.
Okay,
I think he's been to a function before. No, Sade, Michael. I think you've been to a function.
Do you still walk? Do you still walk? You don't walk anymore.
I still participate because I'm the overall father of my house. So I still have my moments. Well, which keeps me still involved. That's why I participate. So I still let the young girls know that I can keep up. These knees are not bad. I told you my age earlier, but baby, she still moves like she's 19. How about anyone young and new? But I still got it's still fun for me. I still love teaching, the kids in my house, and myself and my overall mother, who is my co-founder, Michelet. I love me some Michelet. I got my own Beyoncé.
Yes, literally. So she's a mother of the house.
Yeah, she's the overall mother of my house. So it's like me and her, we work in tandem to make sure that we, move this house along and what's happening today. So I just love, giving my knowledge, even to those outside of my house, but the ones in immediately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. If I had to be in a house, which house would Monét X Change be? Which house would be the best fit for me?
Okay. I'm honestly gonna say, right? You would fit good in like the house of.
You know what the drag is. The drag is woman.
You know what?
Femme.
I don't know if they may agree, but I'm gonna say what I feel. But the house of Demure Versailles.
Demure Versailles.
They're called the DMV. They're like a New York City, New Jersey house.
New Jersey.
Yeah, but I know. But hear me out. They like shine. They like elegance.
Okay.
The overall mother is like Aaliyah. She's like fab in her fashion categories, her runway, her drag space, and she started an amazing house. And they look good.
Okay.
I think it'd be good in DMV.
Okay, DMV. Okay, the house of DMV. Okay, cute. Dashaun, tell us, like, what products do you have coming out the weekend? Because I'm telling you, as a very big Dashaun Wesley fan, I want to consume Dashaun how I can. Like, where can I listen? Where can I watch? Where am I finding more Dashaun?
Well, you know what? I'm going back to put my podcast out there. I had stopped for a little bit because, you start playing these games with these different kind of like companies that want to like, give you some coins, make sure it goes good, then something sets back. So, I'm going to start pushing my podcast back out there again. I've been hosting a lot of like live prides, whether it's shows or anything. So I'm usually on a microphone hosting some type of event in your city near you.
Yeah.
I'm also about to shoot something really soon because I still got my little acting chops in there because I was on Pose as well too. So like I have my situations I be dabbing in.
Yeah.
So I'm about to actually shoot something in Atlanta, which I'm leaving tomorrow because I got to go play somebody's boyfriend.
Thank you for making time for this show.
I'm here for it. I'm like, damn, I was going to leave today, but I'm like, oh no, we doing this.
Yes.
We're doing this, baby. So I'm just doing a couple of projects which I'm working on right now, which
Right.
I'm experiencing and exploring more of my space in this field that I'm in because it's been quite fun. And I want to let people know.
Yes, let us know.
Even, I've been doing my thing quite before Legendary, darling. I've been doing it before Legendary. Legendary was just another addition to the resume.
Yes.
And after that, things keep going. But I'm just in a great space. I have great management. I'm represented well. I'm part of a great agency that's making sure I'm moving forward and going well. And plus manager work. You ate that for me. And shout out to also my mentor, my pops, because that man stay on my coattail. You need you a Virgo. I'm a Virgo, but you need you a Virgo in your life. They'll let you know what's going on. I mean, you not like it, may not like it, but you need you a Virgo. So, one of those. What's your sign, by the way?
I'm a Pisces.
You're my opposite. I'm a Virgo.
Hey, wait. Are we opposite?
We're like sister signs, but opposite signs. So, we feel the same way, but in different spaces, understand the same thing, but you do it your way, I do it my way.
My best friend Kamika she's my best friend since 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Virgo. We get along very well.
I love me some Pisces.
I love Virgos. We get along very well.
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Thank you, Dashaun. Thank you for being here. This is such a great conversation. I learned so much. I know y'all learned so much, so you're motherfucking welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We got the legend, the icon, Dashaun Wesley in the house. Until next time, y'all, we see y'all back in the couch. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Monét Talks.